So before I begin this video, I would like to preference and put out a disclaimer by stating that all of the information that I'm putting forth to you all is all alleged, based on pure assumption, theories, and speculation. I have no industry connections, no industry ties, no industry sources, and personally, I don't know anyone who has worked or worked with Cardi B currently or who works on Cardi B's team in the past. This video is in no way to demean, diminish, degrade, nor defame Cardi B's reputation in no way. Once again, it's all alleged. I think she's a phenomenal entertainer, but I would just like to shed light on the information that I've researched to share it with my audience as they decide for themselves whether or not they believe it to be true or not. So in other words, you're not about to Tasha K me. Now the first article we'll be starting off with is Cardi B's background and learn more about her increased rise to fame and popularity. Now Cardi B's last name, which to me sounds Indian or it sounds like some Arab name, but personally Cardi B doesn't even look like a Latino. She don't look Spanish to me at all. She looks more like an Indian or one of them Arabs, or one of them people that work at a convenience store, or one of them people that work in the liquor store in the local neighborhood, right? But she appeals to both Spanish women and black women, right? So this first article that I'm reading, it says Belcalis Alamanzar, known professionally as Cardi B, born and raised in the Bronx. She first attracted attention for discussing her career as a stripper on social media. Coupled with her no-filter attitude, she became an internet celebrity through Instagram. It goes on to say from 2015 to 2017, she appeared as a regular cast member on the VH1 reality television series Love and Hip Hop. So it also went on to say, during her teenage years, Cardi B was employed at an Amish supermarket in Lower Manhattan, which was the last job that she held before turning to stripping at the age of 19. Upon being fired from the supermarket, her former manager recommended that she work at a strip club. Once again, I'll repeat that. Her former manager recommended that she work at a strip club. She has said she became a stripper to escape poverty and domestic violence. Having been in an abusive relationship at the time, Cardi B has also said becoming a stripper was positive for her life in many ways. She says, "It really saved me from a lot of things. When I started stripping, I went back to school." She says stripping was her only way out, a way to earn enough money to escape her dire situation and get an education. Nonetheless, she eventually dropped out of school. It spoke on how Cardi B started to garner attention and gain publicity due to several of her videos going viral on social media, on Vine and her official Instagram page. So from 2015 to 2016, Cardi B started to become a superstar, right? She was featured on Love and Hip Hop, which means she had to have had industry connections. Just think about it, to audition, then to beat out women who were in relationships with rappers. I'm talking about well-known, famous rappers, successful music producers and entertainers who were probably more popular than Cardi B. Somehow or another, this former stripper who just blew up maybe 50,000 to 100,000 followers on Instagram, which there are a lot of females nowadays who have 100,000 followers, but they're not just going to be able to walk into an audition and get the role, right? So it's also said that her manager met her at the supermarket and suggested that she work at a strip club. Now, I don't know nobody personally that would just suggest that someone work at a strip club, but okay. Anyway, so it was revealed later on in a court document in a case where Cardi B's manager supposedly sued her for claiming to discover her and other things that she left him for quality control management, which is by Offset and the Migos. Part of the reason Cardi B wanted to break free from him is because supposedly he tried to control her personal life and who she dated, which is crazy because it was right around the time she started doing music with Offset on her mixtape, which to me is also strange. She's doing music with a very popular rapper named Offset, who was a part of the biggest rap group at the time with a smash hit like Versace with Drake. But also she was on a popular radio show in the Breakfast Club. This was on her first mixtape. Now, I don't know how many people would be able to get on a popular radio show just coming up, right? When the Gangsta B mixtape, her intro was her Breakfast Club interview, right? Now, if this is the same manager who convinced her to work at a strip club, he landed her a spot on Love and Hip Hop, he supposedly facilitated a deal with you at Atlantic Records, and he was the centerpiece to your biggest hit in the world, Bodak Yellow, which, blew you up and you started to be known to the masses. So why would you leave him? If it ain't broke, why fix it? So is it that he didn't want you to date Offset back then? Or was it that you were just a plant and it was suggested that you and Offset started dating to have this fairy tale relationship to be a modern day rap power couple like Jay-Z and Beyonce? Or was it that your time was just up with this guy Shaft and you was placed at this label by Atlantic Records and it was all a part of building you up and a part of your story? Is it that Atlantic Records and this KSR record label, they were all in cahoots and working together all along? And possibly she went through the developmental stages to build her story as she blossomed into a superstar to make the entire story real, right? But ask yourself, what about her is real? She's got her entire body done, allegedly. Well, she admitted to having her whole body done. It's been said that she doesn't write her own music. So why would it be far-fetched or off to think that all of this was made up all along? Just like the story that broke by a verified Twitter account of an industry rep or industry insider that Cardi B's own record label, Atlantic Records, paid to have her win a Grammy Award, which I don't believe personally. I just think that it was all set up for her to win, which she did. I then looked into the background of Cardi B's manager to learn more about him and how he started his career and how he was connected with these industry labels, had these connections, and will be able to land Cardi B all these roles and land her a spot on Love and Hip Hop, and how he got her a record deal with Atlantic Records. However, I couldn't find anything. But I did come across an article when I did some deeper research, and it all made sense who was really behind Cardi B's success all along. Which then made me think about that article by DJ Booth where it says your favorite independent rapper is secretly signed, and it was revealed that the guy had a lunch with an A&R at Atlantic Records, and they admitted that they had famous rappers who appear to be independent but are getting major label funding. So let's go on to read it. It says, while we are extremely happy to see Cardi B's rise, we couldn't go without congratulating Shaft and Marsha St. Hubert, two of the Haitian American forces behind her breakthrough success and making record history. Shaft is one half of Cardi's management team. The New York entertainment veteran is the owner of KSR Group, a full-service entertainment company inclusive of artist and producer management, a record label, video production house, artist booking agent, merchandising, and social media advertising, right? It also says Marsha St. Hubert is one of the senior vice presidents of urban marketing for Atlantic Records. Let me repeat that. Marsha St. Hubert is one of the senior vice presidents of urban marketing for Atlantic Records. Music Business Worldwide reports St. Hubert is a long-time member of the Atlantic team. She got her start in business in 2022 as an intern for Leor Cohen at IDJ. When Cohen left IDJ for WMG, Warner Music Group, in 2004, he asked St. Hubert to join him shortly after moving. And remind you that Leor Cohen owned 300 Entertainment, right, which has signed Young Thug. And remember, in that article, it says that Young Thug was an artist who was an industry plant or an artist who was getting major label funding and was a Mindy artist. But it also says that shortly after moving to WMG, St. Hubert went to work for Atlantic co-chairman and CEO Craig Coleman, first as his assistant and then as an A&R operations manager. In 2007, St. Hubert moved to Atlantic's marketing department as a product manager, spearheading breakthrough projects by artists such as Wiz Khalifa, DJ Drama, Lupe Fiasco. In 2012, she left the company for a 2-year stint at Epic Records. St. Hubert returned to Atlantic in 2014. Cardi B, remember, started to gain notoriety in 2015. Reuniting with Wiz Khalifa, she supposedly was discovered by her manager, right? And he eventually got her on The Breakfast Club, got her on Love and Hip Hop, and supposedly got her signed to Atlantic Records. How ironic. But it says this lady sang Hubert while working on new campaigns for Gucci Mane, Missy Elliott, Kodak Black, PNB Rock, among other artists. So my personal theory is that Cardi B's story was fabricated, allegedly, and it was all done for marketing purposes, and it was all done to launch her career into superstardom. And I know there's a lot of people who will say, they'll be like, well, that A&R never admitted to, managing Cardi B's career early on. But why would she ever reveal her marketing strategies, right? Because then it would mess up the entire story. Wouldn't it mess up Cardi B's story? Which is why you connect with her and her music and her interviews, right? What would it look like her going out and saying that everything was all fabricated, it was all a fairy tale and you were lied to? It was all to sell her and push her into superstardom to add to her story. So then wouldn't you look at her different? Wouldn't you support her differently? Maybe people will not support her knowing that it was all a fairy tale, because many fans, unlike myself, don't look at it for just the entertainment purposes. They tend to make it very personal, right? And lastly, I would like to speak about Cardi B's album and talk about the true agenda, the message that she's perpetuating and propagating to young black women. Allegedly, I think she promoted a stereotype to further colored women degrading themselves, to misguide them and influence them to feel liberated, to further that agenda of being strong, independent, and not needing a man. That you could still be a thought, not know how to cook or clean, but how to get a ring, have no morals or self-respect for yourself, but still land this perfect man of your dreams. I'm not saying that isn't possible, but it's highly unlikely. Embracing feminism and encouraging them to not need a man. But we all need each other. We all need each other in some way. And that's why I'm trying to get you guys to see that there's an agenda and a gender war happening to keep us divided. I'm not taking the man's side or the woman's side. I'm taking both sides. We're all in this and we are losing. My theory when it comes to her album is it's all self-explanatory. Our privacy is being taken, invaded. We already gave up all our information to Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and other social media platforms. We put all our feelings, emotions, and our statuses on social media, right? They have access to our bank accounts and other information. And pretty soon, I think they'll be taking all of our rights. As you're seeing, everybody's getting canceled and banned. Their freedom of speech is being taken away. And I think that they will be monitoring us with high-tech surveillance, watching our every move visibly and boldly, even while we're chilling at the house. And that's why I think the name of her album was titled Invasion of Privacy.